Friends, welcome to Once Upon a Pipe. We are out in the middle of nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I mean middle of nowhere. I'd like to tell you that I'm under the blue skies of the bluegrass of Kentucky, but no, I am in Virginia. And we got some squadron leader this morning. I've got a cup of coffee, my King James Bible, my devotional called The Book of Mysteries by Jonathan Cahn, and I've got some reading glasses. Let me show you. Had to break these out because I lost my regular glasses. There we go. How's that? Now that way I can look down here and read. I got my readers with me. Got my red, white, and blue stars and striped sunglasses. Some styling and profiling. All right. You can see I've got this nice little pond back here providing some entertainment for the puppy, baby girl. Dexter was out here fishing yesterday. So where in the world am I? Well, we're in the Cumberland Gap area, and we are in the mountains of Virginia. We are right where Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia meet. So if we travel about 15 minutes west, we'll be in Tennessee, and another 20 minutes we'll be in Kentucky. So within, let's say, 25 minutes, we'll go Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky, just like that. That's where we are. This place where I am is called Rose Hill, Virginia. Rose Hill, Virginia. And it's a nice little place. So why in the world am I out here in Rose Hill, Virginia? It's a good question. This little getaway is actually the property of my wife's uncle. And he keeps this as a nice little place to retreat to. And so we are taking advantage of his invitation to get up here in, oh, look. He didn't fall in. I think you pushed him in.
No, I was all the way on that side and he fell in.
Mm-hmm.
I promise, I did not push him in. I was all the way on the other side, so there's no way for him to push him. Juba, did you fall down?
So, yeah, this is my wife's uncle's place. And we are just taking advantage of his invitation to come here. Enjoyed a nice cigar yesterday. A celebratory cigar in honor of my second son's 19th birthday. In fact, Wesley is filming me now. Thank you, Wesley. I feel so good. I put actually a little bit of conditioner and beard cream in my beard. Being African American, my beard gets a little more kinkier, you know. So I gotta keep it nice and soft, and I use that conditioner and beard cream. Sometimes I shape it up a little bit, you know, a little this, a little that. I don't have a so-called sermon or message today,
Come on, get it.
but actually maybe I do. The thing that I wanted, I've been waiting to do this video since I took a group of men to the National Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio at Wright-Patterson. I just want to talk to you about good service, how much I appreciate good service. Speaking of good service, here comes my wife. That's not going to come out right. There she is.
Good morning. Mommy, Junebug fell in.
She's all ready to go to town. That restaurant we went to in Dayton, it's called Wendy's. Let me tell you, it was the most horrible experience I've had in a restaurant ever. We were waiting for one of the guys in our party to meet up with us.
He fell off. I was pushing it back. He's over there. He goes.
So we decided to meet at Wendy's. My dad and I placed our order, paid for it, and we didn't get it until 10 minutes later. And during that 10-minute time period, we had to listen to one of the employees arguing with the manager, screaming, shouting obscenities the whole time for 10 minutes. In plain distance of the customers. I could not get my head around that. It was just, it was horrible. I mean, they were dropping the F word, calling each other bitch, just all kind of stuff. And when I say shouting, I mean shouting. If you were outside the restaurant, you could probably hear them. That's how loud it was. And I thought, why in the world are we even paying for this mess? So at one point I was like ready to tell Dad, hey, look, man, we paid it. Let's just give up that $22 and leave, because it's not worth it. Well, that was a horrible experience. So the other day I ran by Chick-fil-A, and this is back on the Kentucky side where things are a little bit better. So I ran by Chick-fil-A and was blown away by how kind and courteous these young people were. I mean, these are basically high school students, most of them. They were like, you know, welcome to Chick-fil-A, may I take your order? And, you know, you place your order and, you know, they give you that kind thank you and ask you to pull around, and, you know, I'll ask for a military discount. They say, oh, yes, you can just pay up there and mention that. And by the way, thank you for your service. It's like, wow, man. I mean, you know, I'm going to pay a little bit more at Chick-fil-A because the service is going to be better. The food is great. It's very consistent. You know, here we were at Wendy's paying basically for some type of freak show between the employee and the manager, and the food was not that great. So, you know, I think I'm to that point, that stage in life where I care more about good service than I do anything else. If the food is mediocre but the service is good, I will probably take that over some place that might have a little better food but horrible service. You know, Chick-fil-A has both good food and good service. And so, you know, I guess that kind of makes me think, I wonder what it's like when if I get that upset over service at a hamburger place, and that just infuriates me because I paid for that, then I wonder how God sees us. You know, um, I think about the servants that God had entrusted. Well, in the parable, the owner had entrusted his servants to some talents, right? And we know that there were 3 servants. 2 of them did well, and 1 of them did not do well. He basically provided bad service to his master. And the 2 that provided good service, the master tells them, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you Lord over many." And so that makes me think, is the Lord pleased with my service? Or am I giving him bad service? And the price he paid was giving up his only son. He gave up Jesus, He just gave up a few dollars for a cheap hamburger. God gave his only begotten son who died on a cross for my sins. He paid the price for my iniquity. And I wonder how many days he would look down at Brother Johnson and not get good service. But I want to be conscious so that when I reach him, at my end of days, that he'll be able to say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." Man, if we can get upset over service at a restaurant, imagine how our Heavenly Father must feel if we don't give him good service here. So there's the little sermonette. Do well, be a good servant. And by golly, pay that extra buck and go someplace where you get good service, where you can actually enjoy your meal and have a good time and not have the stress of listening to horrible stuff or getting bad service. Man. Tell you what, I'm getting good service out of this pipe. This pipe, by the way, I'm going to relight it. This pipe comes from a pipe shop located in the mall at Colorado Springs. This is a La Roca, and I've had this pipe since I was 19 years old as a young soldier stationed out at Fort Carson in the 2nd Battalion, 12th Infantry. And I've had this pipe a long time. That would have been 1989, by the way. Give you some idea of how old I am. So back then, this was considered almost like a luxury pipe for me. I didn't have but maybe 2 or 3 pipes in my collections, and they were Dr. Graybo's. And actually, I take that back. I had a pipe from Schwab's. But this was definitely considered a luxury pipe for me as a young 19-year-old soldier. Brings back good memories, Well, I'm going to continue to enjoy this beautiful morning in the mountains of Virginia. Wish my son happy birthday, Wesley. He's a phenomenal young man. I really enjoy having Wesley with me. He's the main reason I've been able to do as many of the ferry flights as I've done is because of him. And I've done, I don't know, 26, 27 ferry flights, and Wesley's been there on just about every single one of them. So to pick me up, take me to the airport, pick me up, bring me back home, all that stuff. So looking forward to seeing how the Lord will use him in this 19th year of his life. Well, as always, my friends, I appreciate you tuning in, and thank you for joining me here on Once Upon a Pipe in Virginia, Rose Hill, Virginia. And certainly look forward to seeing you on the next one. In the meantime, as you seek good service, also seek to be a good servant.